So I'm walking up the steps to this reception hall to a wedding party for a couple that I don't even know, and I'm not 100% sure why I'm even there. Although I am looking pretty good because I'm wearing this bluish gray three-piece suit, which is a little out of character for me because I don't like wearing suits, let alone something that's trying to constrict my breathing like a waistcoat. But somehow throughout the night, I have become the de facto MC, and everybody seems to be having a really good time. The DJ and I are getting along, we're vibing really good, and we're playing off each other. The people in the front, there's a bunch of older people that don't really dig what I'm doing, but that's okay. Maybe I'm a little too loose with my words. That's not uncommon. That's okay, because the bride and groom love me. They're sitting up there on this upper platform of this reception hall, you know, like in one of those long lines where they have the whole party there, like it's them in the middle and their wedding party on both sides. And I'm standing on this middle platform between me and the dance floor, and the DJ starts playing Twist and Shout by the Beatles, and then of course I have to do my best Ferris Bueller's impression and just start dancing and lip syncing to the song, and then everything's going pretty good until all of a sudden I decide to leap from the platform onto the dance floor below, slide on my knees, trying to make it super dramatic. Except that's not how it played out. I start to slide across the parquet floor, but then all of a sudden, a trap door falls out below me, and next thing I know, I'm tumbling down this stairway into the basement. I'm ass over tea kettle going down about 47 different steps. It's actually probably more like 14, but it definitely felt like 47. And I'm just tumbling all the way down to the bottom. I hit the bottom, and all of a sudden, my head is throbbing, my knees are throbbing, and I'm starting to think to myself two different things. Number one, how am I not dead? And number two, who puts a trap door in the middle of a dance floor? I'm a little bit foggy, my eyes a little fuzzy, and I'm looking up into this rectangle of light from the darkness that I'm down in this basement, and I see all these like heads start to bob into that rectangle of light as everybody's looking down upon me going, oh my gosh, is he okay? And suddenly the bride comes rushing down. She's holding her gown and she's walking down these steps trying to get to me because she's so concerned, and she asked me if I'm okay, and I said, yeah, I'll be all right. Let's just go back upstairs and get back to the party. I didn't want to be a major distraction, although I probably couldn't have been any more of a distraction. I'm sure that clip would probably end up on YouTube somewhere. So as they start to come to the top, I notice that the banquet people are just in a flurry trying to figure out what's happening and, you know, doing a little bit of risk assessment. The father of the bride is talking to the banquet manager, and it's just a little bit chaotic. People are checking on me, and I'm just like, I'll be okay. I'll be fine. But I decide that I've had enough attention for a bit, so I decide to go sit down in the back of the room, grab a piece of cake, have a little cocktail, kind of diminish myself for a bit. A couple people come by and check in, and I'm like, my head hurts and things like that, but that's okay. You know, it's okay. Things are good. It's gonna be one of those stories that they tell forever, so, you know, I'm happy to be part of it for them. After a little bit, the bride decides to come in and check on me just to make sure I'm doing okay. I tell her I'm fine. Thank you very much. You don't have to spend all your time with me. It's okay. You got much bigger things to do right now. I'm just over here. She's like, no, it's fine. Hey, would you like to go dance? And I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't really know how to dance that well. She's like, that's okay. I'll show you. So we get out there, and she starts to kind of turn, like swing dance with me a little bit. And I don't even know how to swing dance, but suddenly I feel like I do. Like I feel like Jon Favreau in Swingers, where I'm just sitting here swing dancing like I've done it all my life. It's the craziest thing. I don't even know why it's happening, but there it is. So we're dancing, we're swinging, and everything's good, and we're getting a little bit too close to that trap door again, and people are like, oh my God, look out! And I get really close, and then I decide to dip her right at that moment, just before we lean over too close to that trapdoor, and I lean back with my free hand, and I look up at the display up top with my QR code up there that says, make sure to subscribe to my email list. But none of that actually happened. It's a true story, but it's not real. It was so vivid, it felt real. Right up until it got ridiculous, and I woke up. What is the moral of the story? I don't really have one. It's really just that I was so affected by this dream state that I felt like I needed to share. But I want to ask you, did you know what was going to happen before I got there, or were you along for the ride? I'm really curious about this, so make sure you go down in the comments and let me know if you knew it was going to be a dream or if you thought it was actually a real story that I was going into. Yes, it was a real story, even if it only happened up here. Maybe I need to get that checked out, but there's something to be said about the power of telling a true story, one that has stakes, one that has consequences, one that has surprise. Because that's how I believe we best get connected to the people that are paying attention to us. So maybe you right now are a little bit more connected to me because like there was some sort of relatability to it, or at least it was entertaining enough for you to stay and watch and listen through the entire thing. And over time, people will get more connected to us because of these stories, because maybe it's relatable, or maybe it's, you know, funny. And if I can make you laugh about something, then like I've triggered something in your brain. And the more often that I do that, the more likely you might become a loyal reader, follower, listener, whatever it is that I happen to be putting out there and sharing. You might actually be more interested in that. And then eventually, if I decide to say, hey, I've got this thing for sale, you might actually be like, yes, I'm all in, because I love the stories that Dave shares. And this isn't just about my stories, it's about your stories too. And if you want to know more about stories, well, then stick around. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button on this one if you enjoyed it, and then watch this other video because, you know, that's something related too, okay? Thanks. I'll see you next time. And maybe it'll be another dream. I don't know. Could happen.